Welcome back to another episode of Rob Sports Center. If you are an old school basketball fan, then you're on the right channel. If you are a new school basketball fan, then you're on the right channel. If you are a sports fan, period, you're on the right channel. But more so specifically for this video, if you are a Magic Johnson fan, you're on the right channel. So I did a reaction to Larry Bird 75 and you guys loved it. And I was like, you know what? They love that one, so let me come at them with a couple more 75 NBA 75 also, and I get to educate myself on some of the older cats as well. So I decided to kind of work my way from the bottom and work my way on up from NBA on NBA's channel. So today I'm coming at you guys, as you can see by the title, obviously, the Magic Johnson 75. But before we get into this video, man, do me a big favor, man. Smash that thumbs up button. Also, I say also, as I often say, subscribe. But I'm gonna let y'all, if you make it to the end of the video, you make it all the way through this video, man, you might as well go ahead and subscribe, because that tells you that you either A, like the video, or B, like the video. You know how I do y'all over here, we talk out of depth. Let's get into that action. Just 1 second, if you guys have been enjoying my videos, if you guys have been loving my content I've been putting out and you wanted to support, this is how you would do it. So you would scroll over to where you see the $ thanks. When you click on the $ thanks, it's going to give you like 4 different options. It's going to give you some preset options, but you can also go to more and give whatever you're willing to give. There's no certain amount. Anything is appreciated. I just really appreciate you guys for supporting me. Thanks. Now back to the video.
At 6'9", Magic Johnson was built like a power forward, but revolutionized the game as a point guard with his dazzling passing skills and playmaking ability. He was a 3-time league MVP and a winner of 5 championships. His Lakers were known as Showtime, and Magic was the conductor.
And by the way, him and Larry Bird are known for saving the NBA. You know, resurrecting the NBA when it was in its dark age.
Great first game. I would not impose upon any rookie in all of professional sports to talk to you.
Magic having the biggest smile on his face, man.
Has a smile that lights up a television screen from here to Bangor, Maine.
Showtime was born when he arrived. Personality, off the scale, energetic, 24/7.
His personality matched the, the LA, the Showtimes. It matched.
How did he sing?
I always say that if I had to pick a team, he's my first pick, because I know he's going to make whoever else I pick great, way better than they are.
When you walk out of the locker room, here's this guy that's like, you know, let's go, let's get it on, let's do this, let's do that. So all of a sudden you got this college atmosphere with the Lakers, because Magic brought all of that feel. He came in and he's pushing that ball up the floor, and we were like, we gotta run.
Pushing up the floor like
look up, and he was like, look up, boy, dog, hey! And the ball was right there.
You remember what I told y'all? If you watch my Bird videos, you remember what I told y'all? I was like, when you playing with Bird, it's like you got to have eyes on the front, side, top, back of your head, because you never know where you're going to get the ball. You never know when you're going to get the ball. And that same thing can apply to Magic, too. Like, when you're playing with facilitators like that, like, you got to be on point all the time, because you just never know when that rock coming your way.
Great Western form. Then watch Magic come down and do his thing. You know, and orchestrate his team and make them understand this way, this we gonna run this. I mean, I was in awe. You know, and Don Nelson, he had called a timeout and had to take me out the game, because he was like, I hope you're not on awe watching him and not really playing. I wanted to tell you, yeah, I mean, I need to sit down for a minute, because one, it took me a half just to realize that
I'm playing against Magic.
I'm playing against Magic.
The one thing I think Magic brought to the Lakers team is that he was a leader. After a while, you didn't look at his age, because you looked at his basketball IQ. And it was as high as any coach that ever played the game, and some of the best with Jerry West, Bill Russell, just to name a few. His basketball IQ, this guy's 19 years old. So,
in 19, oh my, you know how much time that this guy has to spend? I'm talking about boring time, sitting up here just kind of trying to understand and build that IQ for the game. You know, that's what people don't understand. Like, when you look at these guys that got high IQ, it don't just come from instincts, man. That come from film, consistent film study, well, practice too, but consistent film study, just to really know where everybody is effective at, and to try to get them the ball in those positions to make them as effective as they possibly can, man. It takes a lot of
We
work.
knew he was special. It was going to be a lot of
And
fun.
at 19?
It was almost like going on a Beatles tour or a Rolling Stones tour. Right? It was a tour, man. It was a ride, and we all enjoyed it.
Remember one time coming into the huddle, and I played against Magic a number of times, and Dennis Johnson always defended Earvin and walked up to me and goes, "Hey, is that guy strong or what?" I said, "I know he don't look very strong, but he's pretty strong." And he goes, "Jesus, some of the things that he does out here," he said, "there's no way I can stop him." He said, "Don't you ever tell him."
Magic Johnson changed so much about the NBA, starting with his position. Oscar Robertson had been a big point guard before him, but not a supersized point guard at 6'9". As a normal-sized point guard, what kind of a challenge did he pose?
We had no shot. I mean, really, he was. He had the athleticism, he had the smarts, but then he had the fifth passing lane. So as a normal-sized point guard, right? You know, there's only 4 passing lanes. There's, you know, one here, one there, here, and there. Magic had a fifth passing lane that was right over your head, because no matter how tall you were trying to be, he was looking down over you and saying, "Hey, James, I think you're open." Hey, you know, so he can just pick you apart. And he did. And every time you made a mistake defensively, I mean, Matt, every single time you made a mistake.
I will say this. Sorry to pause while you're talking. But Isaiah's a cool cat, you know, and I like to hear him talk basketball because he knows his stuff. But I just can't stand that whenever Michael Jordan's name comes up, he starts to and start throwing shade. You know what I mean? That's the only thing I don't like. But, you know, I do like hearing him talk basketball.
Defensively, he made you pay for it. Definitely the smartest player, you know, at the point guard position that I ever played against. Read the defense, know the clock. I mean, just brilliant, just brilliant.
You know, because of his charisma, I think his competitiveness maybe gets lost on some fans. Even now, I'll hear these legendary stories about pickup games in which Magic Johnson refused to lose under any circumstances. How great a competitor was he?
He was a great competitor, but he was extremely gracious. And I was so fortunate to come in under his tutelage. And had Magic Johnson not, you know, taken us in, me and Aguirre, who knows what type of players our rookie seasons would have been. He was generous with his time, generous with his knowledge. And you got to remember, Matt, he was on top of the league. He was the MVP of the NBA Finals, you know, and we're getting to run around with him and just see how he treats people, how he's interacting, how he's playing, how he's practicing, how he's working out. You know, that competitiveness with us while we're playing and competing. He's still trying to win. We're like, dude, you just won it. You was the NBA Finals MVP. Can we win the free throw contest? He wanted to beat you at everything.
And that's what I say today's game lack. It's that level of competitiveness. Today's athletes are athletic. Don't get me wrong, they're phenomenal players, they're phenomenal to watch, but it's the mentality I always say. And that's what today's players lack. Like you hear just the level of always wanting to compete. Like Isaiah Thomas saying, man, at this point, this dude's on top of the league. The bet, you know, Finals MVP, the guy in Lakers, the Showtime. This is the guy, and this guy still is trying to compete. And it's simple levels. It's just compete, and it's competing without the cameras being on. It's a different story. You got some guys who only like to compete when the cameras are on. This dude like to compete whether the cameras are on or off, and that's just something that a lot of the players today just doesn't, in my opinion, possess.
That rubbed off on all of us, and it made us better players.
In 1980. We went right to the finals. And so we're playing in the pivotal series against the Philadelphia 76ers, and we're in game 5 at the Forum. And in the third quarter, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar sprains his ankle, severely sprains his ankle, and has to be sort of not carried off the court, but really helped off the court to get to the locker room.
You see Magic, you can see concern in his face.
And so we went on to play that third quarter, and then when Kareem came back onto the court in the fourth quarter, It was Magic and Kareem that teamed up for the winning basket to win Game 5. But after the game, we found out that Kareem was finished probably for the series. And we had to go back to Philadelphia to play Game 6. There were actually players that had approached me as the assistant coach at the time, because Paul Westhead was the head coach, and said, you know what, you should keep Magic home and keep Nixon home and keep Silk home and just take the other guys back. We're going to get killed in Philadelphia anyhow, and then we'll try to win it at home in Game 7. And Earvin found out about this kind of talk, and he said, what are you guys talking about? What are you afraid of? You kidding me? He said, the next game that we're going to play is a game we can win a championship. We're going to defer that game and because we don't think we can go in Philadelphia and win without Kareem. Oh, he was beside himself. And I remember everybody getting on the plane and going back to Philly and then going to a walkthrough, our final walk.
But look, that's that loser's mentality. If you remember watching The Last Dance, you remember when he had problems with the front office because he felt that they was purposely trying to tank games to get a high draft pick. But we actually got a shot at the playoffs. And who wants to be associated with that? Like you say, we got a chance. This next game we win can be us winning the NBA championship. This is something that all of us was supposed to have dreamed of. And y'all want to, I'm not going to say intentionally, but have the mindset that we going to lose and just say, fuck it, we going to get them. Excuse me, I'm sorry with my language. But just say, screw it, we're going to get them the next game. Like, come on, man. That's not the type of mentality that you want, to be playing, to be with, to be around.
Before we played Game 6, and Paul Westhead put him at the center spot. And I remember when we got on the plane to go back to Philadelphia, Kareem used to sit in first class in seat 1A. That was his seat. Nobody else ever sat in seat 1A. It was an aisle seat, even more legroom. And as soon as Earvin got on the plane, he sat right in 1A. He said, you guys don't think we can win without Kareem? Well, I'm going to take his spot. I'm going to sit in 1A. And then when we lined up for the center jump in Game 6, Magic went in and jumped center against Caldwell Jones.
A young man by the name of Magic Johnson is going to start at center.
See, I ain't no Magic with this competitor, man.
42 points, and 15 rebounds across the masthead of the Los Angeles Times. It simply said, it's Magic.
I did not know that Magic was that competitor. I made a statement yesterday in my video when I was looking at one of my Larry Bird reactions, and I was like, when I was talking about competitive guys from back then, I was like Mike, Larry. Then I was going to say Magic, but I was like, well, I don't know. I haven't really just looked at too much of Magic now, but now I realize that he is that competitive. Now that makes me want to go research him even more at this point. But as you guys can see, that is it for this video, man. If you did enjoy this video, do me a big favor, man. Smash that thumbs up button. Also, if you're new to the channel, man, make sure you subscribe. When you subscribe, click that post notification bell. That way you be notified on all things Rob Sports Center. Because just like the GOAT Drizzy Drake always say, I got these videos coming back to back and y'all don't want to miss them, man. I'll see y'all in the next video. We got this thing. When I say we, I mean me and Bob. We got this thing.